All right. Now the first thing, Ian, coming into camp, I thought today you were a little bit too narrow. We need those knees a little wider than the shoulders so you got plenty of operating room between the legs, okay? Let's go ahead and set you up and see what it's looking like right now. Toes out slightly, and when you sit into it, you can push those knees out over the toes. That'll help you a ton. Does that feel comfortable? The important thing is never get so wide that you have pressure in the hip flexors, because that tension, that tightness will slow down your motion overall, okay? Go ahead and stand up, step back where you were. The other things we saw coming into camp, and there's some similarity to what we had a few weeks ago in Columbus, a little tall in the saddle, meaning not quite enough knee bend. For a blind guy, you want your shoulders to hips as a general rule to be pretty horizontal. Now we think you're a little hybrid, so you're going to be a little more traditional with the hips slightly higher. That's okay, but if we can level you out a little bit, I think it'll benefit you. The other things that we saw were that you were a little bit flat-footed, not quite on the balls of your feet. We need to be real diligent that we get those knees positioned right over the toes for a balanced neutral stance where you're on the balls of your feet and you can really drive and accelerate with those legs back into the hips towards your target. Okay? The other things that I saw, because you're a little flat-footed, your leg drive's a little too vertical. You can't drive it back into the hips, okay? Kind of like doing a hack squat. We're not going to capture the lower body motion energy to help accelerate the football, and we could T-bone the upper body energy and sap that as well as it travels down the spine. The last thing, I think that your guide hand or your secondary throwing hand is passive. It's just kind of sitting on the ball. I'd like you to spread the fingers and get what I call a positive grip, which is fingertip pressure enough to hold that ball from above. So you can throw and control with both hands. I also think with your throwing hand, your right hand, are you right or left-handed?
Right hand.
That's what I thought, okay. You could strengthen your throwing hand grip because your thumb is like right here next to your index finger, and you might have big enough hands to hold it. It's not a powerful grip. Let's oppose that thumb. The great miracle of humankind and the apes as well is the opposable thumb, right? So let's try to oppose that thumb so we got a better grip on the ball for a throw and linear acceleration, as well as a good rolling off the fingers as we whip and release and snap the thumbs to the sky with the wrist, okay? Let's go ahead and set you up. We're going to three-step you first. You ready? Okay, first thing I do is pull you forward. That gets knee bend to 90 degrees or less, straightens the back, fully extends the arms. I'm going to raise you up, maximizing operating room under the torso. Then I'm going to push you back into the hips towards your target until the heels touch the ground, knees are over the toes. Now I did push you down a little because you tend to be a little tall and settled. What I really want to do is I want to raise your head and shoulders a little higher off the ground, lower your rear end a little closer to the ground. Does that feel comfortable? Let's try a throw right there. I had you down a long time. Let's see what happens. How's it feel? Pretty balanced too. You're a little late forward, but you did a good job of controlling it. Sign of a good athlete. All right, let's do it one more time a little quicker. Without the three-step, what we're trying to do, raise your front end a little, lower the back end a little, and then just position the knees over the toes. How'd that feel? From that position right there, you will be able to throw the ball harder and harder and harder, as hard as you can, and you'll never go high. A perfect setup leads to a perfect snap because your energy travels down the spine, up through the legs into the hips. It converges at an arrow point, and if that thing's pointed at your punter's waist, that's exactly where the ball's going to go. Okay, let's do that one more time. That was a thing of beauty. I hope it felt good. Pretty simple fix, huh? And make sure it's a two-handed throw. You'll just be that much better. Raise the front end, lower the back end, get you balanced by putting the knees over the toes. Two-handed hard throw. How's that feel? That right there may be the most powerful snap I've ever seen you throw, and it was right at the waist of the punter. So I really think we're making a huge breakthrough right there. You comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Let's do one more. I'm just having fun here. You're doing such a great job. What's that? Huh? Okay, come on, here we go. Ian, we are making a breakthrough. You're on your way to snapping the crud out of the ball. That's a great adjustment for you. Throw it hard, two hands. That's coming along. You got any questions?
Nope.
Looking good. Let's do it. So we lowered the back end, raised the front end, tried to get a stronger grip with both hands and trying to make a good solid two-handed throw. Show me a thing of beauty here. That is a thing of beauty. Much more velocity than we've seen historically out of you too. That's great. Let's dive. Okay, so we raised the front end, lowered the back end, got the knees over the toes, positive grip with both hands, and a good strong two-handed throw. Looking nice, Ian.